maybe didn't possess the greatest technical wrestling skills in the world, maybe didn't have a face that was exactly TV friendly, and with his help, that person went on to be one of the great successes in WWE history. So, I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to the McMahon family. During their time of bereavement. And I'd also like to say on behalf of the entire WWE dressing.
That is pretty incredible, Mick. You think that you can just walk down to this ring wearing that stupid tie and issue a simple, insincere public apology, and it's going to make everything better about what you said about Mr. McMahon last week? You said Mr. McMahon had no real friends. You said that no one should appreciate Mr. McMahon. And this is after you write a best-selling book that's no more than a Mr. McMahon hatchet job. Now, it's no secret, Mick, it's no secret that you meant everything you said last week and in your book. And when they start writing down that long list of names of people that just might be involved in the Mr. McMahon tragedy, your name's gonna be at the top of that list.
Wait. Involved with the tragedy? Surely you can't mean to imply that I may have had something...
I'm not accusing anybody, Mick. I'm just saying that one would have a strong argument that you had all the motivation in the world.
I'll straighten this out. Well, I understand most of you people will be looking in Mick Foley's direction. But I don't see it that way. See, I have first-hand knowledge that there is a federal investigator here tonight. I also know he was seen speaking for more than an hour with one Bobby Lashley. Now, if you ask me my opinion, that would be a good start. You talk about motive. Let's look at it. It was Lashley who just last week was stripped of the title by Mr. McMahon. It was Lashley who was the object of Mr. McMahon's rage since WrestleMania. And it was Lashley who is a former Army Ranger who has intimate knowledge in weapons and explosives. I mean, come on, man. How well do we know Lashley? People tell me in Atlanta,
Hey. 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 Kojak, Ace Ventura, easy. This is not Law and Order, this is Monday Night Raw. And like everybody else, I watched last week and I'm asking myself the same questions. What really happened to Mr. McMahon when he closed that limousine door? And then there's a couple of guys like you who want to come down and make it a good old-fashioned whodunit. I got news for you. It's more than just coming down here, pointing a finger at Mick Foley and saying he did it. It's more than just coming down here and pointing a finger at Bobby Lashley and saying he did it. It's more than just pointing a finger at any one of us and saying we did it. Guys, Mr. McMahon was our boss, yes. But would we have to see him 1, 2 days a week tops? Put this into perspective. Over the course of his life, how many enemies do you think that Mr. McMahon really had? I mean, you could be talking about housekeepers, bookkeepers, greenskeepers, beekeepers, divers, drivers, drummers, plumbers, teachers, preachers, that drunk in the bleachers. Yeah, buddy, I'm watching you. Schoolboys, pool boys, boy bands, hair bands, rock bands, marching bands, anyone even remotely associated with the XFL. You can be talking about hikers, bikers, butchers, bakers, candlestick makers. And on top of that, throw in all the prostitutes, pimps, and male escorts that have been screwed over by Mr. McMahon. Well, I'll accept that last part. That was for added effect. The point is, the feds are here. There's a federal investigator that's going to handle this case. The right thing to do is to honor the wishes of the McMahon family and get on with the show. That's what they would want. That's what I want. That's what you...
Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the 5 superstars who will compete in the WWE Championship Challenge this Sunday. But you know what, Cena? You're right. Mr. McMahon would want the show to go on, which is why the McMahon family put me in charge of... Raw on an interim basis. And since Vengeance Night of Champions is this Sunday, and since Vengeance Night of Champions was the idea of Mr. McMahon himself, I'm going to make the following main event in his honor. Tonight, Randy Orton, the Legend Killer. You will team up with King Booker to take on Bobby Lashley and John Cena. Now then, as for you, Mick, Mr. McMahon read your book. And he wouldn't give you the satisfaction of telling you, but he told me. Mr. McMahon told me how you distorted the truth